Oh my God,
Yeah.
really?
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right.
So, how come I can't see myself? I got you mainly. Ah,
Huh.
that doesn't matter, right?
Yeah. You'll see it after I post it. So
Oh, great. After you do it.
what's that thing about the always easier to beg for forgiveness than ask for permission? After you pow and nothing can be done anymore.
It is what it is, right?
Yeah, yeah.
Basically, that's what it is.
Okay. Introduction. I am here with Lei Kekauoha. You still live kind of above Crow Ridge, if I remember right.
Yes. I'm right underneath the freeway.
Not in a box though, right?
Not yet.
Okay. I saw a thing yesterday. Somebody in Hawaii posted was it uh Eleanor? I don't know. Eggs are like 15, 16 bucks a dozen.
Uh, that's possible. I try to watch when it goes on sale and I just pick it up. Just a dozen. I really don't need any more than that,
Yeah.
you know. But, like it is now, everybody has um, protein bars and um, those protein drinks and stuff. So, not too much eggs going on.
I don't
I mean,
know,
once in
man.
a while.
One of my top things in the world is that runny yolk in my rice. If
Ew.
if they serve that in a restaurant on the menu, I would order it.
Okay. So you just like my dad. My dad liked it jiggling. The whites had to jiggle.
And runny and just
Oh, sorry. I like everything cooked.
pass me a straw, pass me a straw.
No, sorry. I'm not that daring. The
Okay,
straw is in my drink. That's about it.
so let's get our starting point. What grade you started coming here?
I started in seventh grade.
Okay, okay. I'm surprised of the ones I've talked to so far, how many ninth graders, and then the other day I had my first 10th grader. So
Oh,
that was
wow.
like, wow. But I was surprised. I thought the majority of the people I remembered were all 7th, 8th grade, but apparently not.
I guess I was one of the fortunate ones, huh?
And you boarded from Maui, correct?
I boarded from Maui
Okay.
till I
Where on
graduated.
where on Maui did you grow up?
Um, when I got in the seventh grade, we lived in Wailuku, right above um, the ocean. Was that Old Beach Road,
Hmm.
Kahului side?
Yeah.
We lived up there, and then while I was at school, they were building. My mom and dad bought a lot up country, right behind King Kekalike, which is right across the street from the Kamehameha School Maui now.
Huh. I haven't seen either Maui or Big Island campus.
Oh, the Maui campus is just gorgeous. It looks like exactly like behind you. You
Wow.
come down the hill, you turn in, come down the hill, and all you see is the south side, the West Maui Mountains. It's beautiful.
Man, amazing.
Yeah.
And then I guess I never really paid attention. I in my mind, kind of like kids, I guess you have a certain picture of them at a certain level. I thought the schools had been open for less than 10, 12 years, but they've been open a long time.
Oh yeah. Um, yeah, it's been a while. It's been a while. I think it was a deal with Lokilani Lindsay, I think.
Hmm.
That's where, basically she wanted a campus, and maybe I'm wrong. You know, memory's not all that great.
Yeah.
So, I think that was a little of the controversy going on. Um, the different islands having a campus to ease up on the Oahu kids to come.
Or more opportunity, I guess. Yeah.
Exactly, exactly.
Because I remember for a time, I can't maybe remember when it was, when people were saying, well, I mean, my kid's been trying to get in and cannot get in because no more space, and all this kind pilikia, they start talking out loud about stuff. So I guess in a way it was a good thing. And the whole concept of Hawaii and her, will and her desire. I mean, these two campuses are exactly what she wanted.
Exactly. At least give everybody an opportunity, because with one campus, it wasn't giving everybody an opportunity.
And I look back and really I can see where I directly benefited from my time at Kamehameha, but also at the same time, I think I could have done more with what they offered me. But
I think I'm right up there with you. I wasn't the best student, um, but I took what I got and I ran with it.
right on.
I mean, you got to, right?
Sometimes it's the best you can do.
Right, right.
Be,
Take that
be,
chance and go with it.
better than sitting back and not doing anything with it or whatever.
Well, and
So,
hoping that it will come to you, because, that's not the way it is.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
Not
So
at all.
we so we get to graduation. The next morning you wake up and what do you do next?
Geez.
Did you go to school
That's
or
kind of blur. No, the next morning I woke up. That was kind of blur. Well, I did go away. I went to school at Westminster in Utah because my
oh, okay.
parents thought, my uncle was living in Roy, Utah. So Westminster was in Salt Lake. It was a small school. It was down the road from BYU. No, not BYU. Yeah, well, wait, no. Well, I was right in Salt Lake. So my parents thought it would be good to get me out and experience the real world. Um,
You have siblings?
I have a sister.
Okay.
Um, her two, she went to Kamehameha too. She's class of 78. And her two children graduated from Kamehameha Maui.
Wow.
Yeah. And I have two grandchildren at Kamehameha Maui right now.
Oh yeah.
Yes.
Good.
That's my oldest grandchild. She just made 16. Kawai Anu.
Ah, my
Yes.
God.
So yeah, both of Nahinu and Kawai Anu are both at Kamehameha School Maui.
Is
But
it
yeah, I have
because they were living there the whole time or what?
no. I just think they were both fortunate to get in. They went to preschool, and one didn't get back in to kindergarten, but the other one did. And then Kawai Anu tried again, and she got back in.
Hmm. Where did you go K through 6?
K through 6. I went to Wailuku Elementary up to 5th grade, and then I moved over to EL School, 6th grade.
Is that because of it being 6th grade, like you had to change over or what?
Yeah, we just moved down the hill from Wailuku Elementary down to EL
Oh,
School. for the intermediate side because we lived in Wailuku at that time.
Yeah. Did you go elementary school with any of our classmates?
I don't think so, but I remember Joella Ito. She came into Kamehameha for a while. Um,
I remember, yeah,
we
I
went
can
to
picture her, in
sixth
fact.
grade for a while there.
Huh. Is is she still with us?
I think she's on Maui, but I'm not. I haven't seen her.
Okay. I was talking to Ivan Daikoku on the phone for a little bit earlier today, and he never realized Charles Keoho was a Maui boy. And I think Charles has been
Oh,
there his whole life,
well, he
so
was in Lahaina. That's why,
oh,
at that time.
that
But I've
mountain really separates everything, yeah.
Oh yeah, I've ran into him a few times at Long's up there in across the street from my folks' place, and it was kind of crazy because I said, "What are you doing up here?" He goes, "Oh, my son goes to Kamehameha." I go, "Oh yeah, I just picked up my two grandkids from Kamehameha," and so it was a small world. But I saw him a couple times while I was there,
And then
which was really neat.
surprisingly, I never heard anything for years and years, but Ivan told me Doug Weber's on Maui too.
He used to be um, a while back. He sold me a car.
Well, he
Used to work
must
at a.
move back because he does taxes now and he's doing Ivan's taxes.
Oh, really? I didn't know
Yeah.
he moved back to Maui
Yeah. I
because I know
always,
he did move away.
oh, okay.
Yeah.
Mm. So at Westminster, were you studying anything specific or did you like have a plan or you just wanted to go to school?
You know, basically, um, I took up business law, and it was really tough up there. Um, there was a lot of prejudice. They thought I was Mexican, um, and that's crazy because when I go to Vegas, they all think I'm Filipino. So I'm going, okay, that's cool. But, you know, um, but it was hard. It was really hard. And I think once the snow hit, it really kind of caved in a little bit. Um, so when I came home for Christmas, I packed up everything and I left some things at my uncle's house. And he says, "How come you bringing this here?" I said, "Uncle, can you hold it for me? I'll come back and visit you." I didn't go back. That was it. I I'm sorry. That was just too much prejudice. Trying to go to the store, trying to buy stuff. I always had to have one of my Holly friends go with me to the store. Um, it was hard. It was really
Yeah.
hard. I had a lot of nurses in my dorm, so a lot of them were American Indians
Oh,
from Mexico and Arizona. They were really nice. I mean, the school had a lot of different ethnic groups, a lot.
but just made it weird for you, huh?
Yeah, because I'm not used to that. I mean, Hawaii, we don't do that. Although
Yeah.
I think it's changing now, but
Little by little, I think.
yeah, little by little, I think it's changing, but it is what it is, right?
Yeah. So when you came back home, did you try school again or
I tried. I went to Maui Community College. That didn't that didn't last too long. I needed more finances, so I went to work at Avis Rent a Car.
oh, right on?
I stayed there for a while.
Like how long a while?
Oh gosh. Um, I think until my second child.
Okay.
That was maybe the 1980, 81. Then I moved over to insurance, and that's where I am to this day.
Oh, right on.
So it's long journey.
Yeah. Maybe it was because of Avis, but I thought I saw you on Maui at the airport one time. I thought you worked for an airline. No?
No, I worked at the airport for Avis Rent a Car at the booth, and
Okay.
then
That's
I
what it
went
was.
down to the office. Yeah,
Oh boy. So your girls are doing good. Are they both on Maui or?
I have four girls.
Oh, okay.
My oldest one is Brandy. She will be 49 in December.
Wow.
And my second one is Janelle. Brandy is here on Oahu. She's a professor at University of Hawaii,
In what?
and she is in um, Native American history,
Wow.
and she's a poet laureate for the state of Hawaii.
You have
She
to
has two
educate me. I
girls.
don't know what that is.
Poet laureate. She does. She has two books, three books out. She wrote. She wrote on poems that she wrote about, like upcountry Maui. She wrote about my dad, my mom, the family. Um, and one book she wrote was for her dissertation for her PhD.
Wow.
So she's the only one that went to Kamehameha. She graduated in 94. She has two girls. One's in the immersion program. She is 6. And the other one just made 11.
You know, from some people I was talking to last week or the week before, that immersion is the way to teach the kids anything. Catch them
Oh,
when they're
yeah,
young, you know.
exactly. Because they can absorb it faster than we can. And she would talk to me every time I see her, and I'm looking at her. I'm going, "You gotta tell grandma what you're saying."
Uh,
Grandma, I said, "You gotta teach grandma. You gotta, because grandma doesn't understand. Mommy does, but I don't." So Brandy speaks Hawaiian, and she converses with Ku'ule, Hiva Hiva. That's the youngest one that goes to the immersion program.
wow. Amazing.
Yeah, it is. It's amazing. Just watch her rattle it off. And then my second one will be 45, and she lives on Maui. She lives up country with my mom. She takes care of mom. Mom's 95.
Wow.
Dad passed away in 2018. Um, so Janelle's married. She has two kids, Kawai Anu and Nahinu, and they both go to Kamehameha School, Maui. Then my third one is Cherie, and she has a little boy. He is 6. He goes to Lihikai School, trying to get into Kamehameha, but we'll see. And she works at the Hyatt. She does well. She works for events.
She went to
The
Honolulu,
youngest,
right?
yes, you had both her and Dawn
Ah,
in your
okay,
driver's
okay,
ed class.
okay.
Yes.
I was trying to remember. I
And
don't
they're
even know
very
why I
good
started
drivers.
to try to
Thank you
remember the
so
name.
much.
So,
Better than mom. Mom yells at everybody.
oh, golly.
But yeah, Dawn is here on Oahu with me. She's my roommate.
Right on.
So she's doing well. She works at Hawaiian Air Cargo, which recently got taken over by Alaska.
Oh,
Yeah,
that whole travel picture is getting to be so weird
it is. It
because
is.
I'm coming home for the reunion. I was gonna try to go to Molokai. I've got a first cousin that lives there still,
Oh, that's hard flying
mountain
to
cousin.
Molokai.
Yeah,
That's hard.
I mean, it's like,
Yeah.
wow. So I asked him, what happens if somebody gets sick? He said, tough luck.
Yeah. It basically that's what it is. I know Mokulele is doing it now, but for a time their planes were down. And from what I understand, I thought somebody else was going to come into the picture, but I don't know.
Hmm.
I know it was sad when Hawaiian backed out of that, doing those flights. I think they even did Lanai, didn't they, back in the day?
Yeah.
Yeah. So the only way is that ferry. I don't know if that's still going on, where they ferry them over to Lahaina, and then they got to drive to either Kanapali airstrip or all the way to Kahului.
Wow.
I don't know. It's rough.
So in the insurance world, you like process or you market insurance or what?
I'm a broker for a carrier. I'm an underwriter. I do personal lines, which is homeowners and dwelling fire and
Yeah.
liability umbrellas. I don't do auto at our company. We're a surplus market, so we're not like your first insurance, island insurance, Dietrich. Um, we have surplus line tax and fees. The other markets don't charge for those, but we do. We work with Lloyd's in London.
Do you have to maintain education every year, like a tax
Yes.
guy or something?
Yes, I have an insurance license and a surplus license, and I have to keep that up. I have to get my credits every 2 years.
God,
Yeah.
I don't know if my brain could handle something where I'd have to keep going back and relearning stuff.
No, that's why you go to the classes that don't give tests. You
Okay.
just have to sit and listen and refresh, and that is the best way to do it because
That's,
everything changes so fast.
I can only imagine. I mean, all the legal stuff involved with insurance is like, wow.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh boy. Now, have you
Yep.
found any time in the last 50 years to travel for fun any place?
Um,
Paris, Vegas, Tahiti?
I'm not a gambler, so when my family wants to go there, okay, I'll go, but I'm not a gambler. I mean, if I sit and I put money in there and I don't get anything back, I leave. I
Smart,
go I either
smart.
go to the restaurant or the bar, and then that's it.
Then at least you walk away with calories or a buzz or something at
Oh
least.
yeah. Well, yeah. But I've done Vegas. I've been to Alaska, which was
Oh,
really nice.
did you do a cruise or anything like that? Or
No, it was a drive.
wow,
Stopped at different places and random places to stay. Never made reservations, but and recently I just went to Japan for
oh,
Thanksgiving weekend.
was
It's
it your first
wonderful
trip
up there.
there?
Oh yeah, it's wonderful.
I've been
The
talking to
food is
different
good.
classmates who have been,
Yeah.
and I would love to go.
Oh yeah.
It's definitely on my bucket list now.
We went on a tour. So they had everything all planned out. Um, it was nice. Kim Nevis. I still call her Kim Nevis, but Kim went and she said they had the Osens in their room where they had their own private pool. where they
Oh,
could with
wow.
natural waters. Yeah. So I said, "Oh, maybe I'll just go to Japan for that and stay in the hotel and go out and drink and eat and come back and sit in there. That's the biggest deal. And
Huh.
stay right next to the shopping mall.
Is it like spring water or like warm
Yeah,
and all
they
that?
have where we went on our tour, we went to the springs and it's just coming up out of the ground. And so what they did was they kind of corralled it off where you could put your feet in it. There's some places you could go in it, but it's a public one. Um, some of them cook with it. No
Wow.
electricity, no barbecue. It's just that hot steam. So we went to one of those places and we ate, and we were able to put our feet underneath the table into it, into the water. But it's so refreshing. You would love it. You would love it.
Huh. What area was that called?
Um, oh God, I knew you'd ask me that. I don't remember
Uh,
because it was a tour, and wherever they were taking us, you just get on the bus.
Where are we going? We're going that way. Okay.
Well, I
Fair enough.
know we did the tour down by the ocean. We went towards the end, and for the life of me, it's gone right now.
And that was just this past Thanksgiving.
Yeah, yeah.
How long did you go for?
We left. I took 1 day vacation. We left like Tuesday night maybe, and I was off Thursday, Friday. So we came back on a Sunday. Actually,
Oh,
was there Monday, but our Sunday because they're ahead.
yeah. How long did it take to get there? Like 15, 18 hours or what? No?
We had the direct. We went on Hawaiian and took us direct there. I think it was like 15 hours.
Wow.
But coming back was a little shorter. So we got back earlier than what we were supposed to land. So it was nice.
Yeah. Huh.
But it was nice. You got to go. We went during a time when it was their winter. So it was kind of chilly, but it was doable.
Hmm. Yeah, it
But
just
like I
too many
think
talk about.
one of yeah, one of the conversations I think you had, they said you eat Japanese up there and Japanese here, totally different. It is. It's totally different.
Yeah. And I always imagine that, but I always like to ask people who've gone.
Hmm.
Some of our classmates have spent extended time in China, and yeah, same thing. The food's different.
Well, I've
There's
gone to
stuff
Hong
that,
Kong, but I don't think I'd want to go back. I've gone to Cancun. Cancun was really nice. The water is so blue, um, but it's different. It's very different.
the
I'm not too sure
atmosphere
how
or
it
the
is.
water.
Um, Security. I mean, it's almost like Hong Kong when you come in. The the soldiers are there. They're present. They let you know they're there. So you kind of walk in and you go, oh, okay,
I better not mess up while I'm here.
yeah,
They won't let me go home.
yeah, that's true. But
Ah,
yeah, but Hong Kong, don't eat anything at the open market. Take your bottled water.
oh. See, and I'm glad you say that because I watched videos of some of the overseas stuff, and that open market
Yeah.
food looks, oh no.
Oh, yeah,
Yeah.
it does. It really does. And I think that was my problem. I ate one of those buns.
Oh.
So that was the end of me for that night. And the next day, I was out.
Ugh.
Yeah.
And then I guess growing up in Hawaii, I'm not squeamish about not knowing the ingredients. My mom always said if somebody else eats it and 10 minutes later you still see them walking around, try them. But I think in Asia you probably, I don't know, maybe
You
some
know, it's,
questionable ingredients.
yeah. But Tahiti, their food is just like ours because we eat a lot of raw fish. They eat a lot of raw fish. It's just amazing how their French bread they sell on the streets. It's not in a market, in a cupboard, in a paper. It's just in a basket.
Oh,
So, a lot of people just grab the bread on the side of the road, go to like a little general store and pick up the pate, and you just, I mean, the bread is really good. But of
huh.
course, it's French cuisine, right?
Now
But the
you
fresh,
mentioned how pretty the water was in Cancun. I would imagine the water's pretty darn nice in Tahiti too, huh?
oh, beautiful, beautiful. The water is beautiful over there. I mean, you can see everything,
Ah,
everything. Sharks.
oh, okay. Don't just randomly start diving in then.
Well, but I don't think they bother for
Yeah.
some reason, but I don't know, but I don't trust. Okay. I'll stay on the top and look down.
Uh,
But that was basically my travels. I think
it, it sounds
the one,
fantastic though. That's a pretty good hit list you got.
but I want to
I
go to New
mean,
Zealand. That's something I definitely want to do.
yeah, it's a neat spot.
Oh
I
yeah.
was there the year or 2 years before I got into Kamehameha. So I don't remember a lot of fine details, but I remember it just
Uh-huh.
was very unique. We did it was for the summer, so we did camping through Australia and then we went down to New Zealand and Fiji. And I remember Fiji being the most uncomfortably humid place I've ever felt in my life.
Wow.
Got off the plane and immediately it's like, you're soaked in sweat in 2, 3 minutes. Every breath you take, you're kind of fighting for it and just it's pretty weird.
Wow.
So, but imagine people go obviously and they get used to it or what, I don't know.
Because my daughter was an exchange student for New Zealand. She went to the university out there, and I think at that point, that's when she met Albert Wint. He's a well-known poet. So he mentored her a little bit up there, and he came to Hawaii to visit. Spent
All
time with him.
right.
Very nice man. Very nice.
Sounds
So,
like that daughter has had a life that's just really
oh
special.
yeah, because she was also an exchange student up in Denmark. She went up there. That was an experience for her. She enjoyed it. She enjoyed it.
I think Denmark's supposed to have like one of the healthier population in the world or something like that. I don't know. I was reading something. They live longer, they're happier, they're healthier, and I imagine it's all some kind of whatever diet related, but
Well, that's like Japan too. You look at them. I mean, they're thin, but yet they eat a lot of rice. So it's like, okay, what are we doing wrong? But they eat a lot of vegetables too.
Yeah, I think that's one of my weak points in my diet. Not enough vegetables and way too much pork belly.
But that is good, ja.
It's hard to say no when I walk in my butcher shop and he goes, "Oh, you know what I just got in?" No, 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 no. Don't tell me. Don't tell me.
See, they don't have too many of those here, butcher shops.
Ah,
I remember on Maui, we used to have one in Waihe'e. There was a butcher shop out there, and they wrap it up. They wrap up your meat, or they cut it a certain way for you. Um, they wrap it up in that pink butcher paper and send you off. Here you
yeah.
go. That's
And that's
fresh.
and I had to actually work with him a little bit, but he finally got it down to where I'll buy a rump roast and he'll shave it thin for teriyaki for me.
Uh huh.
Because our idea of thin and his idea of thin were not close. I mean, he was like, you know, half inch. No, no, no.
Less,
Like
less.
you hold them up and I should see light coming through. He goes, "Wow." I said, "Yeah, that's how we eat them."
So he had a meat cutter for that,
Yeah,
or
yeah, but he just had to like crank it almost all the way down, and he'd never done it for any purpose before, so he never stopped to think about it. Yeah,
wow.
but other than that, you go to commercial grocery stores that have meat departments, and it's really hard to get them to cut stuff thin for you or special. So I've often thought about going out and just buying one for my house, a meat grinder or a meat cutter or just something. Because sometimes you just want to like, let me just do it myself. After they do it wrong 6 times in a row, you're like, oh, how can this guy not get it? Yeah.
I think about you every now and then when I pick up a hamburger steak with gravy
Mm,
because you post some of your stuff. But
that's probably why I cannot lose weight too. I cannot say no.
no, you say no to the rice and you do the salad, tossed salad.
Oh man, I don't know. I told my wife if the doctor ever comes down and says no more rice, just shoot me in the head.
Well, it's moderation,
Yeah.
basically. Yeah.
For me, easier said than done though. So, but
Well, it is hard. It is hard.
yeah. And then we have a hui up here that a lot of local people that live in the Midwest, Minneapolis and Iowa and Wisconsin.
Uh
In
huh.
fact, do you remember Martha Farrar?
Yeah.
Her son is the guy that kind of oversees it and does all the planning for it and stuff. So, and twice a year we always get together for like a big potluck.
Uh huh.
Oh, what a 2 dangerous days in my life because you go there and there's
Yeah, but you can't eat everything in 2 days. You need
crispy
longer than
gao
2 days.
and noodles and
Beef
bamboo
stew.
be yeah, hamburger curry and it's like uh feel like I want to just curl up in a corner after I'm done.
Connect attack.
Exactly.
So, how long are you staying when you come over?
Uh, Altogether, I'm gonna stay about 2 weeks. The reunion, I think I'm planning to Sunday. I guess I get it on Thursday, and then I want to go Kauai for a little while. I'm gonna see what's involved in trying to get to Molokai, but who knows?
The going and coming back. Yeah, that's,
Because I don't want to go and then get stuck and not be able to come back.
yeah, that too.
So just play them by ear. When I come home, I never really have my plans too set in stone. Because I guess the only things I know for sure, I'm staying in the dorms, doing the class night and then the luau. Because I don't think my plane gets in time to do the kupuna luncheon,
Mm,
and I don't want to push. When I land, I like to
take your
find my
time.
transportation and figure my stuff out, and not just kind of hauling okole to get and then lost, and then you get more frustrated and what left. Oh
Well,
boy.
it's just the traffic here. It's
And it's
not the
gotta be
kindest
so much
thing.
worse. I left in '09, and to me it was already bad back then, 15
Yeah.
years. And now I see pictures of Kapolei. I don't know if I could even get to anything I used to know where it was in Kapolei.
Yeah, that section I don't travel too much to. I'm not too familiar out there.
God, it
It
just
would take
seems
me
like
a little longer, and I would have to do it when there's no traffic, or else that would totally frustrate me.
and that would have to be probably middle of the night or something. I don't know when there would be no traffic out
I
there. So
Well, with summer coming up, you can never tell. You can never tell.
yeah.
When the kids are out of school, that road is packed.
Mm. So I guess, but everybody deals with it. I still have some friends that live out in Waianae that they
Oh
post when
yeah,
it takes them 3 hours to get home after work. It's like,
yes, yes.
3 hours
Have
of your day wasted by driving. I'd rather just park my car at work and then just go work in the same clothes the next day. Because by the time you get home after driving 3 hours, it's time to go sleep already.
Yeah,
Why,
that's
why go
true.
home? But
That's true. And then Saturday and Sunday, you still gotta go shopping or do errands and stuff. So you're back on the road again.
yeah, so there's lots of things I missed about Hawaii, but traffic's not one of them.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
And then it seemed like, you know, not anymore because I'm semi-retired, but back in the day, man, working to make it. I mean, people would ask me, "Oh, Hawaii. So how often you go beach?" I said, "If I go beach once, twice a year, that's plenty." And I'm
That's
driving
true.
alongside it,
Yeah.
going to and
Yeah.
from work, and yeah, there's the ocean right there that I
Yeah.
haven't touched in 6 months. Uh, so
Same here.
it's nice when I come home that I can just the time is just to kick back and absorb and really enjoy being home.
When I go visit mom, I just don't want to leave the mountain. I don't need to go downtown, Kahului or whatever, unless we have to or there's something we need to do. But I do make a point to go to my dad's grave and my aunt's grave. My aunt's in Makawao, my dad's in Wailuku. So at least we try to work that into the whole time I'm there
Yeah.
or on the way to the airport when they drop me off.
And that sounds amazing because you said your daughter is helping take care of her, but basically your mom's still living at home, right?
Yeah, yeah. She's still
Yeah.
mobile. She does
Wow.
everything for herself. She's very hard head. So the apple doesn't fall too far from the tree. So that's what I keep telling my daughters. But yeah, my daughter feeds her well. Well balanced meal. The doctors say she has a clean bill of health, and that's good.
That's
You
awesome.
know, and she's still in the yard. She looks like the Filipino yard man with her hat and her long sleeve shirt and pushing her little barrel.
I can just picture it. I can just picture it. Uh, But
Yeah.
and that kind of stuff probably makes them happy because their generation had to be doing something all the time.
Yeah. Yeah. Then when she's done, she comes in the house, sits in her little chair with her glass of champagne and Fritos. That's it. Watch the news and Wheel of Fortune. That's
Oh,
her
there
deal.
you go.
Yeah. Yeah.
Must be something about that show because my mom was a fanatic for Wheel of Fortune too.
Well, it keeps their brains
Okay.
trying to figure out the puzzle. And she does a lot of that word puzzle in the book. To find the word, you circle
Yeah,
it and all that stuff. Yeah.
I've
So
heard
she
that.
does. And my dad used to do that Sudoku.
Oh, that's a tough one, man. I've tried a couple of those and
Oh, he loves that stuff. He
oh
used to
man,
love that puzzle, the cube. You match all the colors and yeah.
some people
So
have a knack for certain puzzles, but I can
yeah.
do a crossword once in a while, but that number one, that Sudoku, no, I don't even have a plan. I don't know where to start and how to get past
Well,
step
you get more
two. And
frustrated just trying to figure it out. It's
yeah,
not. It's not. That's okay. You got better stuff to do.
or at least I tell myself that.
That's true.
And and then I know I enjoy my naps so much more often these days now. So
I don't take naps.
oh,
You
good
take naps.
girl.
Well, because I can't sleep at night if I take a nap.
Oh, okay.
I'm wide awake. So maybe on weekends I will because there's no place for me to be. So
Now you and your daughter being roommates, you guys feed yourselves, or is one of you in charge of meals, or how do you guys work that out?
I normally, if I want to eat something, I'll cook it. And I'll just let her know, oh, made this, it's in the fridge. That's it.
Yeah. Is your daughter a cook?
Yeah, she can be.
When the mood strikes her, huh?
Yeah, once in a while she makes me breakfast. We do the toast with avocado
Oh,
and tomatoes,
I
that whole
like
deal.
that. Yeah, yeah,
Yeah,
yeah,
that's where the eggs come in. So that's your whole meal right there on a
yeah.
slice of bread. And that's fine.
And a local girlfriend of mine who lives near Chicago just shared a picture where she ordered in special order from Hawaii, but a case of papayas. And
Oh,
I've done that a couple, 2 or 3 times in the past, and they're really good. I mean, they come in and you might have to wait a day or two before you eat them, but
but they ripe fast,
yeah.
just like
And
bananas.
and here the only thing we really have access to are Mexican papayas, and they're really small, and the taste is not anywhere near Hawaii papayas. And I can eat papaya every morning of my life for the rest of my life if I had to. I'd be just That's like one of my most favorite things.
Well, I remember when we were young, we had to eat papaya every morning. That was the deal. And I hated it.
My mom said
It
it
was
was to
just that
keep me
texture.
regular.
It was just that texture in your mouth. Now I'm fine. I can eat that. Okra, lima beans, I will not touch. Still,
Yeah, that one takes a little bit of
that
work.
one's tough. That lima beans, I'm sorry, can't do that.
Yeah, it's like what happens when you bite down on a lima bean? Something goes nuts in your mouth.
Yeah, it's just that lima bean.
So you're gonna be at the reunion then?
Yeah, I'll be at the classmate night.
And luau?
I bought a ticket. I bought a ticket.
Okay,
We'll see.
good. Well, I'm looking forward to seeing you and everybody else, but I'm at the same time in the back of my mind afraid, that I'm and everybody will, but the trouble with the names and you see the
Oh
face and
yeah.
you went to
Well,
school with them and
yeah, but we're all gonna do that. I mean, the last time we had the reunion at Natsunoya, I didn't recognize a lot of them. They all say, "Hey, Lei," and I turn around, I look at them, and go, "Hi, you don't know, huh?" I said, "Yeah, so you can tell me."
yeah. I gotta look at it as that's half the fun of being there that night. So
It's gonna be fun.
yeah,
It's gonna be fun.
good, good. Well, I enjoyed our time. This has been neat. I like the fact that, over the years and this and that, we can just come back together and we don't have all the little silly high school walls and differences that we used to have. I was talking to Dwayne Owl about that, and it's like it's so different. It's so much nicer now when I run into classmates. You know, just I don't know, maybe starting to get sentimental in my old age.
Maybe we've grown up.
Oh, what a scary thought. Oh,
I know. I know. How do you act to that? We all grew up, or are we still growing up?
yeah. They threatened that would happen someday.
Yeah, they did. They
Maybe
did.
today's the day. Well, I hope to see you on class night and luau if you end up going.
I hope to see you too.
You take good care and mahalo for sitting with me today. I appreciate it.
Thank you, Kermit. Took
Aloha.
twisting arms, but thank you. Bye.